What's up, guys? It's Brandon from Two Piece Mandem, and I'm going to share my thoughts on the Chelsea game when we versed Arsenal at the Emirates. And we did lose 2-0 to Arsenal. And I'm just going to address my thoughts on the game. I did a review on it, but I didn't give my full thoughts on the game, so I'm going to give you my full thoughts. Now, there are three talking points. Sarri after the game said these players are very hard to motivate. He said these players are very hard to motivate. Issue I have with that is that, well, first of all, fair enough, the players didn't play the way that you wanted them to play, and their mentality at the start wasn't there, because you can tell that Arsenal wanted it more. They were more determined. They were winning every first ball, and just 30 seconds in, David Luiz plays a loose pass to Rudiger, and they're almost in. So they're sharper and more determined than us from the start of the match. When you say these players are hard to motivate, they're not, because they have won. Near enough, the same players have been there at Chelsea for years. Hazard, Aspilicueta, David Luiz, Willian, Pedro. These players aren't hard to motivate, right? They have won 3 titles. They've won cups. They've won trophies, all right? Do the players have to take some responsibility for the way they performed? Absolutely. But at the same time, it's the way the manager sets up the team. It's the way he sets up the team. So, for example, which is another point that I've written down. Playing Hazard at false number 9. In these types of games, you can't do that. I can see we're trying to cross balls into the box. But how are you going to cross a ball into a guy that's 5'5" against 2 Arsenal centre backs that are like 6 foot? Like, it makes no sense. They're going to win the header every single time. And Hazard plays better on the left. Yeah, that's Kane on the left. For us to score a goal, every single pass has to be perfect. And not every single pass is perfect. We barely had any shots on goal. You look, every time I was watching the game, right? Hazard was on the left. Our players were around the box. There was barely anyone in the box, in the Arsenal's box. That's where there's a striker in between, just a striker's presence in between those defenders. You can just cross the ball in, header it in, and it's a goal. Or just to make a run, so you can drag the centre backs back, and it creates space for our centre midfielders. He doesn't play Morata or Giroud because he thinks they're not good enough. But at the end of the day, you need to start Giroud. I would start Giroud because Morata, he's not strong enough. I would start Giroud simply because we can cross a ball into the box and we can at least win a header or score a goal with a header. And his hold-up play is good. Playing Hazard at false number 9 just does not work. It just doesn't work. Alright? So, yes, the players do have to take responsibility for them, but you have to consider the fact that they're not playing. Hazard, especially, is not playing in his right position. You can say the same about N'Golo Kante, but we can talk about that later if he's not playing in defensive midfield, not playing in centre midfield. But at the same time, with Hazard, you just can't play him at centre forward. It just does not work. All right. And this leads up to my third point, the striker issue. Like I said, we need a quality centre forward. Now, I was watching 100% Chelsea, and one person said that he doesn't fancy Higuain to join because of his age. Well, listen, right? When you have an actual striker that has played under Sarri and has scored 38 goals for Sarri, we have to go for Higuain. It's a no-brainer. And now you're probably thinking, I'll go for Icardi, go for a younger player like that. Well, listen. Right now in the January transfer window, what are the odds of Icardi coming to us? What are the odds of Callum Wilson coming to us? One person, he did say bring back Tabby Abraham. I would do that as well. Because why not? Because he's young, he scores headers, he's good going forward. But there's a massive difference between the Championship and the Premier League. Is he ready for that? That's the thing. And we can't, and us bringing back Tabby Abraham, it's just a massive risk. Because he could either go, he could either play well or he could either play crap. Even bringing Batshuayi in, I don't even think he's improved that much, to be honest with you. Alright? I don't even think he's improved that much. So, with this whole game, does Sarri have the right to rip into our players like that? He does to some degree. But at the end of the day, you picked the team. You're not playing players in their position properly. You're not playing Hazard in his position properly. I would start Giroud always. You didn't start Hudson-Odoi either. That was another point that I forgot to mention. You didn't start Hudson-Odoi either, and I would have brought him on for Willian because I think Hudson-Odoi, he's just better. He's just better. He just brings more pace, and you know he's better when you've got Bayern Munich making a 35 million bid for him to play in that number 10 role. All right, so I would start Hudson-Odoi because he's talent, and that's basically it. Arsenal, they played well, but I don't think they beat us because they played absolutely brilliant. I think they played well because our team was just rubbish. Point blank, period. If we had a quality striker at centre forward, then I think the game would have been different. I honestly don't think they would have won that. I don't think they would have won that. I think if we had a quality centre forward, the game would have been different. And it would have either, I'm not saying we would have won it as well, but I'm just saying that it could have been a draw. That's just the bottom line. If you guys enjoyed this video, leave a like, leave your comments below about the game and why. I'll see you guys in a bit. Peace.